Two brave voices on a glowing screen, sharing hope where the world's unseen. Echoes, laughter lights the day. Lucy's wisdom guides the way. With every word they break the chains, turning struggles into gains. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Stories told, the tears unwind. They listen close, they're gentle, kind. Every comment feels like home. No one ever stands alone. Dreams get mended, fears release. Through their voices, pain finds peace. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. When the night feels heavy and the world feels cold, their words are fire, their stories gold. They remind us all we can stand again, with kindness, courage, and a loving friend. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Helping you, helping me too. Echo and Lucy, the light comes through.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry. I was sitting here playing with lights. I was getting Christmas tree lights and an extension cord and a lamp. And I was trying to play with it because I wanted y'all to see my beautiful lights that Miss Buddy Illusion gave me for my birthday. So I'm going to show you my little different things it does here. Let's see. That's the strobe where it goes through all the different colors. And then I can make it, whoops, stop. Can make it red.
Ooh, that looks like fire,
Or
flames.
green. And blue.
Ooh,
Like
that blue is pretty.
Yeah.
That cobalty blue.
Yeah.
That's really
Now
cool.
that's just the purple. Let's see. Purple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And here's like orange.
Orange is nice.
Yeah, so I could do like any of the
pumpkin-y.
colors.
We could
if
put it
I
on
really
things
could. There's the pink.
Oh, that's
I
pretty.
feel like the pink.
The pink looks more purple than the purple.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Anna East and I were
No, she's just playing, BJ.
We were playing around with the lights the other day, and so I didn't get it figured out. So when Lucy came in, it was like, okay, I got to figure out these lights. And then it was like all the lights in my house, we tried almost every light, and they're all like too bright. So
yeah, different combinations. Oh, thank you for the raid. We got a room raid from Star.
Thank you, Star. And Blue just finished up her live. So thank you, Blue. And thank you, everybody from Star's channel for coming over. Thank y'all so much. So anyway, this is why I wanted lights, because I want to sometimes have it be softer and more, ethereal and just, relaxed. And anyway, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Me personally, what do you think, gang? Doesn't she is a softer look on her? Don't you think so? I just think it is, I mean, if she wants something to say, I can see that, but yeah,
Yeah. And I
it's
mean,
definitely new.
sometimes I just want it to be more chilled out, And
Yeah,
so to me, it's really cool. And I really, really like it. And I'm glad that that I did play with it a little bit because now at least I don't feel like I'm sitting here completely in the dark, that y'all can see me. So that's good. At first, I was like, it's either I'm in the dark, you can see the lights, but you can't see me. So now at least you can see me too. So I like so
and also, can we do a big drop in some threes for Izzy? She's still in
is
the
she
hospital.
still feeling
Yeah,
bad?
yeah, she's still
Oh,
in the hospital.
and everybody with this bad storm, I hope everybody
Yeah,
is staying indoors, warm and safe. I hope everybody has electric. Um, I know that a lot of people, even just from high winds, will lose their electricity.
right.
So I'm glad that we're really we're really safe here in South Georgia. I kind of was having hurricane flashbacks because of all the everybody preparing, and I was like, oh gosh, I remember we didn't know that hurricane was coming like it did. And
Right.
all of a sudden, boom. And here at least now people have had some warning about, these storms coming.
Well,
So
it's funny the different states. I've been looking on YouTube, on Facebook, and talking to friends that live in other states, and they're like, when we get warnings, we get milk and bread. And I went, I don't understand the milk and bread. I don't understand. I'm from earthquake weather. You don't prepare. You just clean up the mess after it's done. But you always stay prepared. You don't put things over the top and over the top of the doors. You keep things strapped to the walls. You just always that way. But anyway, and then I talked to somebody and they're going, we didn't do that. We always just, when hurricane was coming or some big storm was coming, they always just went and got a case of beer. Yeah, okay. I said, and then we had the big C and everybody was tripping on toilet paper. Why isn't anybody worried about toilet paper right now? It's funny what the difference, in people.
well, and
Hi,
I
Star.
was talking to my daughter today, and she was telling me, they got the tickets for the concert,
Okay,
and
good.
she had to get a parking permit type
Great.
thing to go with that. And then they found a hotel and they got the hotel room booked and everything. And she said that her bank didn't say anything about the amount that was charged for the tickets,
Okay.
but there was like a $49 charge for insurance in case they had to cancel the concert so that they could get a refund.
Okay.
And she said, nobody ever thinks about doing that. But when the big C hit is when she had the concert tickets before. And if she didn't have that insurance, she would have lost all the money for
All
the
of
concert
everything.
tickets. So she was like, yeah, since that, she said, yeah, we're going to, we always get the insurance. But
Yeah,
I
you
was like,
never know.
that's just one more thing that we learned from the big C. So many things now are different in our day-to-day lives with things being delivered. And I mean, I can remember I never ordered anything online. Now you can order just about anything you want,
Uh-huh.
can be delivered right to your house.
Thank goodness for that. For some
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
So I know a lot of people lost their lives, and I know it was devastatingly, for a lot of people. But I do feel like a lot of things that are now, especially for some of us, are more positive. That we
Uh-huh.
have, we'll be able to live longer and more independent because we can have things delivered to us, and it's not a burden for somebody to have to go out to the store, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
So
I've
you
even
do
ordered
without
things
until
that
somebody comes along. Yeah.
yeah, and I've even ordered things that were heavy, and I could have gone to my local Walmart and got them, but I would have had to have a truck, and then I would have had to have help carrying them in the house. But I had it delivered right to the door, and then I pushed the box into the
Yeah.
house. So yeah, a lot of things have changed since then, to me, in a positive way. And
Good.
that's kind of how I try to live
Amazing.
my life. I try to look for positive things that come out of things that I initially think are negative, you know.
Mhm.
And the hurricane last year, or
Isn't
let's
that a
see,
isn't that a sound? Isn't that a song? Look on the brighter side of life. I don't know.
yeah. Well, it wasn't this past October. It was the October of 2024. So a year and a little over a year ago when we
Mhm.
had the hurricane here.
Yeah.
It wasn't, at first, I couldn't see anything good coming out of it. And it was even to the point that we didn't have electricity. We stayed about 4 days before I said, I'm going to need a shower and I'm going to need to do some laundry. And so, we need to get somewhere with some electricity. And
Uh-huh.
so we ended up going to a hotel that my sister was nice enough to not only pay for, but to locate for us to be able to go because everything was booked up,
Oh
ready.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyway, now when I look back on it, I made so many friends that are still my friends today because I was in that hotel room during the hurricane. And it's like I didn't really realize it, but I was on somebody's live this morning, and it was a lady that lives in Georgia, but more in North Georgia, and I
Okay.
actually met her through the hurricane, with the hurricane.
Oh, okay.
And then my friend Elisa from Stitching It Up, we met during my live in the hotel room. So it's like so cool how, even though that was kind of very devastating for a lot of people, I actually have something positive now that came out of that.
That's
That
good.
that was one of the packages that I have to mail from my birthday party. I finally got them all packaged up. I
Nice.
had them all addressed. I wrote out a thank you card for each package, and I have the boxes and the envelopes. I got them all ready to go. Now I just got to get to the post office, but I will do that very soon.
It says Miss Edna's not feeling well.
Oh, Miss Edna.
So can we drop some threes for
Yes,
her
some
as
threes
well?
for Miss Edna as well.
And anybody else who needs them.
And
And hi
BJ's still
Star.
not
Hi Bud
feeling good
Files.
for BJ, and threes for Edna. Okay, so this is Self Care Sundays, and we've
This is
been
our
doing
15th, guys.
our
This is
15th
number
live
30, so this
stream.
is 15.
Yeah, okay. So we've been doing a lot of different topics, and I was like, okay, what should we talk about? And it kind of came to me that there's Elisa, Creative Moments 92 is teaching it up
You're
at
joining,
Perfect
honey?
Life. Yeah. But it kind of came to me that if I could go back and talk to Echo when Echo was in her 20s and in her 30s, what would I tell her? And also, what's the best advice anybody's ever given me? And so I was thinking about those things, and I said to Body Illusion, I said, what do you think about this for a topic? And she said, oh, I think that's a good idea. And then she mentioned it on her live on Friday night, and so many people in the chat were like, I would do this or I wouldn't do that. It was like everybody seemed to have something on that topic. So
Uh-huh.
I would like y'all to put in the comments first, what is the best advice you've ever been given? And the second question is, if you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself? And put the age or age range in there.
That
So
you would
that
be
we'll
talking
kind of
to.
know. Now, as far as the best advice I've ever been given, and I said it Friday night in Body Illusions chat, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Because people are creatures of habit. They normally don't change. And most of us, when we actually see somebody, if we don't want to believe what we're seeing, we kind of will dismiss that and be like, oh, it was a bad day, or, that was just a, once in a lifetime situation or whatever. And
Right.
then when you see it for the second time, then you're like, oh, no,
Hmm.
that really is how this person is. First time I saw that. So
Right.
that's the best piece of advice I've ever been given. And I didn't until recently really adhere to that because I was always the give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes. And they're having a
Maybe
bad day.
they're
They're
having a
having a
bad
bad
day.
day.
Maybe you misunderstood.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you're having a bad day and reacted differently.
Goofy. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. No. When somebody shows you that they are disrespectful or inconsiderate, believe that because that's like their core personality. That's how they
Right.
really are. And that's not going to change in time. If anything, it will get worse. It will not get better.
The
So,
more they get comfortable with you, the more they
yes,
feel they can reveal more. Hmm.
yes. And also, a lot of that is manipulation because you put up with it once. Now I'm going to see what else I can do and how much
Right.
further I can go with you.
How more
And
far I
then,
can push that line.
yes. And the more that you give them that benefit of the doubt, the more they are going to push those boundaries and be
Uh-huh.
like, oh, well, she didn't mind when I did that. She won't mind when I do whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um, now, you tell me what's the best piece of advice you've ever
Oh, yeah, I knew
given.
you were gonna. I've been thinking about this since you brought it up to me. I have no idea. I have no idea what I would tell my younger self. Um, I mean, I did. You'd be amazed how many stupid things I did when I was a kid. I don't even know where to begin. um, just beware of strangers. That was my big thing. I was very open to strangers and climbing in cars, climbing on motorcycles, going anywhere, everywhere. I was just, let's go, let's do. Yeah. Beware of strangers,
Yeah.
especially now. Well, back then it was too. It wasn't so announced. I mean, yeah. I mean, we
Well, and
had,
I think, personal safety is something that a lot of people have taken for granted, like, oh, I'm this special person over here. Nothing bad's going to happen to me, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And then when something bad does happen to you, it's like you can't believe that you didn't protect yourself,
right.
you
How
know?
could I be so stupid? But
Yeah.
I was doing, yeah. I mean, I would meet people and they would say, oh, okay, let's go over here. And I'd climb in the car and off we'd go. Or he'd say, oh, I'm going to go on a run over here. Come on the back. And off I'd go. I'd climb on the back of the motorcycle. Off I'd go. I mean, I was in some places that, yeah, just beware of strangers. Beware of strangers would be my
Yeah.
biggest thing.
Yes. And
Believe them the first
I
time.
just finished reading a book yesterday that in the book, the lady was a writer and she was trying to write about a situation that happened to the character in the book.
Hmm.
And she says, I don't have any personal experience of this thing that, she was going to have the character go through.
Uh-huh.
And she says to her literary agent, you know, it's kind of hard. It's hard to write about things and be, where people will believe the story if you don't have any personal experience. So,
Right.
you're writing something and it truly is fiction. It's made up. It's not, what something that really happened to you per se. And it made me really stop and think about all the terrible things that I would not want to have happen to me, but I read about them in books and I believe everything they say about it, how
Uh-huh.
it made them feel and afterwards how they, struggled with it and all of that. So it's like, I
Izzy
don't think
Pop,
you
we
have
just
to
put in threes for you,
experience.
honey. I'm sorry to interrupt. Izzy Pop is here. We
Oh,
just put
hi,
in threes
Izzy
for you, honey.
Pop.
I hope you're feeling better. We love you.
Me
Yeah, still in
too.
hospital. That's
Yeah,
Scully is
and
kind of keeping me up. I hope he
you
keeps me
can't
up.
get any rest in a
You
hospital.
need anything, reach out, honey.
Yes, definitely reach out.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, I was, just thinking that, we don't have to experience everything firsthand in order for us to be able to understand it when it happens to other people and be compassionate, with other people's situations. But to me, it was kind of funny. Now, BJ says he would tell his younger self, don't get married.
And that's what he said every time it's been brought up.
Yes, yes.
And he decided
Now,
that some time ago.
Now, what I would tell my 20 something self, that there are no fairy tales,
There you go.
because I got married thinking my husband was, knight in shining armor who had come to rescue me, and
Uh-huh.
we were going to live happily ever after,
With
because
the
life was
birds
a
and the
fairy tale.
butterflies flying around you. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, Walt Disney movie, huh?
Yes, yes. And in my mind, everything was perfect and everything was great. And so when it wasn't, and I ended up getting divorced, then it was like, a rude awakening, like, what? No happily ever after? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to live without the happily ever after. And so
Right.
I really quickly, explained to my daughter, there is no fairy tale. There is no happily ever after. Something can change like that.
Right.
And you have to live your life prepared for the worst. You hope and pray for the best, but know what you would do in that worst case scenario.
Right.
So that's something I wish that somebody
A
had, you
contingent
know,
plan or something.
yeah, you don't know what is going to happen,
Mm-mm.
and you should be prepared for whatever that might happen.
Uh-huh.
And then I would definitely tell my 30 something self that, if you're having problems having a child, you should go and have whatever medical technology advances there are, to find out if there is a problem. I did not do that. And I suffered infertility for 10 years. So if it's something you want to do and you're having problems, get a doctor that you trust, have the tests done, and see what the situation really is. The not knowing and not wanting to know if there's an issue doesn't get you anywhere except for waiting and frustration.
I know you can
So,
say that about any health issues. If
yes.
you put it off, it's not going to change anything. Just go to the doctor and have him poke and probe and blood work or whatever he needs to do and get you some answers, no matter what it is, right?
Right. And I also feel like that about, like preventative things. As we get older, I've heard a lot of people say this, that, oh, once I hit 50, my doctor wanted this test and that test, and oh, what about this and what about that? They're not, and everybody's like, they're just trying to make money. They just want my money. No. A lot of things can be treated if you catch
I
them
agree.
early enough. Hi, Rick. But a lot of people, and my dad was one of them, never went to a doctor.
Right.
Didn't matter what was going on. That man was not going to a doctor.
Uh-huh.
And
Now, some
not that,
religions believe in not going to doctors, so
right.
you
And
know.
not that it would have probably mattered in his case, but in a lot of us, it might matter if
Right.
you know sooner than later.
Hmm.
So don't fear that, go get it done, find out. Then you kind of have that relief of, whew, that, I don't have that to worry about.
Yeah. And it's funny how if a doctor says, no, you don't have to worry about that. It's something simple. Just take some penicillin and call me in the morning kind of thing. And all of a sudden you just sigh. You're just relieved. Isn't that funny how one person with the knowledge can make you feel so much better, you know? Because you are.
Right.
You're sitting on the edge. Anyway.
And then, too, if you have a family history of something, it might be that it never affects you, but find
Yeah.
out what those things are.
Yeah.
Because then when you have something come up, that's something the doctor really needs to know if they need to look, at certain things. Um, and I think that's probably my biggest thing about adoption is that you may not know your medical history. And I feel like we all have that, fundamental right that we should know where we came from and what that history is.
Right.
And I know nowadays they have much better
They have
things
open
in
adoptions
place
a lot more
and
now.
open adoptions and things like that than they used to have, so that's good. But even though you may not want to ever meet your birth family, you still may want to know genetically,
Yeah, your medical
things
history.
about them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, I really kind of feel like, with my daughter, like I have to tell her everything I can think of because I don't know how much time I'm going to have like to stick it in her brain,
Uh-huh.
and it's like when I'm gone, I want her still to be hearing me saying, go to the doctor, get your checkups, do all
And
these
see,
things, right?
what I do with other is I'm a storyteller. I want him to know the family history.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him to know what my grandfather told me. He may have not heard it. He may have heard it when he was 6, so it didn't. So I'm going to tell him that. So I'm a storyteller with him. I want him to know the family, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's, yeah. I mean, he kind of knows our medical history and the craziness I've gone through. So I'm like a story. I want him to, I mean, like I've said before, my grandfather ran with Machine Gun Kelly. Only for 3 days. Only for 3 days. He hightailed it out of there when Machine Gun Kelly started talking about kidnapping. He went, "Ooh, that's a little too much for me." But yeah. Anyway, so
So,
I'm a storyteller with my kids, and you're like prepare them. You
yeah.
know.
I mean, it's like I tell her stories about things, when I'm trying to get her to realize, hey, this is important. You need to do this.
But
But
also, our 2 kids are probably about 20 years apart, right?
yeah, she's
So I've
28.
already done all that with him,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All the pitfalls.
Hello, Olivia.
I
Welcome
know all
in.
kinds of people are coming in.
Um, a lot of the, like advice kind of things, when I was younger, I would think, but I'm not that person. Like that's not going to happen to me. And so I kind of understand sometimes when I tell my daughter things and she's like, yeah, that was in the 60s, in the 70s, whatever.
Right.
It was a different kind of life. It was a different time. But
Uh-huh.
there's still basic things, and like you
People are
said
still the
about
same. The
like the
environment may be
personal
different, but the people
safety.
are the same.
When I was young, I lived in a town. I got a job at in a certain town, not where I grew up. And
Yeah.
I went to
Machine
that
Gun
town and I knew nothing about the town. And so I would drive all over with my windows down and my doors unlocked and, just having a good
Kelly.
old
Uh-huh.
time.
Hmm.
After I met my husband, he said, how do when you drive to work, what route do you take? So I told him, and he was like, you're going through the worst part of time at the worst part of the day. It's like, don't go that way, go this other way.
Uh-huh.
Well, at first, I'm thinking, I've been going this way the whole time I've been going there, and it's been fine.
Hmm.
Then later on, I find out that that particular town at one time was known as the murder capital of the world,
Oh,
had
okay.
the most murders. So, yeah, I shouldn't have probably been going by myself like that. But it didn't mean anything to me, when he told me that. I'm like, "Oh, you're so overprotective, why are you care about that?" But I'm the
Uh-huh.
same way with my daughter, I'm like, "Oh, that's on a good side of town," or, "Oh, yeah, I wouldn't go there after dark," and it's like, I know she probably thinks, "Ma, it's okay. I can do, whatever," but it's like, "No, you have to be careful. You have to think about these things." And I think we were like, like you said, "Hey, get in the car and go." Didn't
But
matter
yeah,
if you knew the people or where you were going or nothing.
uh-uh. Gonna say we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna go. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
And I was raised very, very sheltered. Like, I didn't know about drug abuse. I didn't know about domestic violence. I didn't know a lot of the, crime type things that went on. And when I got out on my own and was, in what I call the real world, I was just amazed at, I'd read the paper and I'd be like, "What? This happened where?" I just couldn't believe that I lived where that kind of stuff happened, you know.
Uh-huh.
So you really do
So
need
your
to know
folks
your
kept you sheltered from that kind
surroundings.
of stuff, huh?
Yeah. And
Hmm.
I also believe that it's our job as parents to, by the time your child is out of high school, they ought to know how to do certain things
Okay.
as an adult in the world, you know,
Uh-huh.
not with mommy and daddy holding their hand doing it, but they ought to know how to, conduct business and things like
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
And my parents did not prepare me to be in the real world at all, you know. And so with my daughter, I was like, I got all this stuff I got to teach you,
Right.
because you need to know, what you're doing. But she says, even like her friends, even the girls in college, didn't know how to do certain things that I'd already taught her how to do.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, I showed them. This is how you do this, and this is what that is, and da da da." And I'm like, "See, because I didn't know, so I
Right.
felt like I had to make sure she knew,
Right.
because pass that information on."
Well,
That
it's also a form of independence
yeah,
if they can do that for themselves. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well, being a single parent and my mother being a single parent, we just did. We just did. And the other was part of that. You just do. So when he got out of high school, he just did. He knew how to change tire, he knows how to change oil, he knew how to, he knew how to balance a checkbook back in the day. He knew all those things. So
yeah,
what he does
and
with
it,
it now is up to him, but he does have that knowledge. What's that?
oh, BJ talking about Joan being from Canada too. He's called her a Canuck. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, "What the heck is a Canuck?" I guess that's someone from Canada.
Well, and the other day I heard this. A female called this guy. She says, "Hey, Paisley." I went, "Paisley? I wonder what that means." I had to look that up. It's a sweet slang. So it's not an insult. It's a sweet slang from about someone from Scotland.
Oh,
Yeah. She says, "Hey, Paisley."
interesting.
And I went, "What does she mean by that?
Yeah,
Is he homosexual? Is he, I mean, Paisley goes all different directions."
yeah. Wow.
So there we go. Now we've learned something, huh?
Yeah.
The stupid
Well, and
things I learned during the day.
I was just gonna say, young people today have it so much easier because of the internet. You can look so many things up that I didn't have that ability.
Well, I
You
wouldn't
know.
call it easier. I wouldn't call it easier because there's so much misinformation out there. So it's harder to
Well,
decipher.
yeah,
But if
that's
it's just
true.
a meaning
But
of a word, that's pretty cut and dry. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but I think there's a lot of things that the different generations what we had, what we worried about and what we did is totally different than what kids are doing, today even.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's just, I remember when my daughter was pregnant, she told me to read this article that talked about, grandma, it's not the same as when, you had your kids or whatever, like so many things have changed in just how they raise babies now, than
Okay.
how we did. And
Okay.
I imagine that there's a lot of things um, that are like that. That we have it in our head that it should be a certain way, and now there's new, improved, better ways,
It's just
to
like
do things.
Pampers. Other was born during the time where Pampers were just coming out, just becoming the big thing. So it was a decision of um, Pampers or cloth diapers with the rubber pants and the whole 9 yards. So they were going through that change. So, I could imagine that's 40 years ago. I can imagine how much changes has gone besides the Pampers, you know what I mean?
Oh
About just
yeah,
raising children and stuff.
and it's
And the philosophy of raising children. Yeah.
yeah, and so many of the things that even that you may have thought, this is a good way to do something with your baby. And
Mhm.
then after the fact, it's kind of like, yeah, I could have done this or I could have done that. And
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, there were certain things I told my daughter, like, don't worry about this. Like, I got hung up on little things that changed really fast. But I would like be stressed out over, like, I can't stand that this is happening. And then just about the time I would be like, anything but this, it would change and it would be something new. But then I would get the same feeling about that thing eventually.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, it doesn't matter. They're going to go through stages. They're going to go through different things. And you're going to think, I can't take this anymore. And it'll change. And
Right.
you'll be so relieved and so happy at the new thing they're doing until you get to that point that you can't stand that they're doing that. And then it'll change again. And it's like right now, my granddaughter's got this thing where she wants to sleep in mommy's bed.
Okay.
And mommy is like, okay, you go to sleep in your bed. And if you wake up, then you can come get in my bed,
Uh-oh.
you know? And
That's a setup.
I said, well, she's going to be
She's too
waking
smart
up
for
every
that.
day, number one. Number two, there's going to come a time where that's going to be the last thing she wants to do is come get in bed with you. And then you're going to miss it.
Right.
So I said, you have to either decide that it's okay that she does it or put a stop to it, one
Right.
or the other. You can't be like, oh, you got to put conditions on it. You know,
Yeah.
Olivia
Other
said,
slept with me till he was done. When he
yeah,
decided he was done, he was too big or too, it was done. It was done. That was just the way it was.
I rooted in essential oils. Olivia says,
I
um,
finished.
my 19-year-old, my son is 19. I was a geriatric mom. And then
Oh,
she
okay.
said, I was a total helicopter mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's my baby. I know what's best. I know.
I tried that. It didn't work. It didn't work because, like I said, it was other me and my mother. We were all living in the same house, right? So, and then my grandmother lived down the street, and she babysat. And so I would say, I don't want this happening, blah 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 blah. And as soon as I turned my back, one of them was doing it. They're going, "That baby's fine. That baby's fine. You can do this." And I'm like, so I just finally they're not going to hurt him. I know they're not going to hurt him. So
Right.
I just let life flow and he gets to experience them in a happier way. That's all I could do. That's all I
Well,
could
and
do.
like with me, even though I had 10 years waiting to have a baby, I knew nothing about having a baby.
Oh, I
You
didn't know
know,
anything.
uh, I just guess I thought it would come naturally, just
That's
like
what they
I
always
would
say.
just know what to do.
Oh, I get that.
And when my daughter was 3 weeks old and I had to have my gallbladder out, I can remember sitting there feeding her, crying, saying, I begged for this. I wanted this. And what am I doing? It's like this child will not stop crying, and I'm tired and I'm in pain. And oh my God,
What
I
am I
never
doing
saw that
wrong?
part
Yeah.
of motherhood. I never knew that part would come.
I get that, Olivia. I get that, Olivia. Yeah. Because I told Other his when he first went to kindergarten and his first day of kindergarten, before then, like the day before, I said, now if somebody says something to you or does something to you you don't like, you come and you tell me right away. Don't hesitate. You come and you tell me. If they do something that you don't think is right, you come and tell me right away. He came home that day and he says, my teacher was blah blah blah, and he starts telling me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And he starts, I guess Other did something wrong in class and the teacher scolded him, so he was going to tell his mom that teacher was me. I'm like, honey, that's not what I meant. It was the teacher, somebody doing something bad to you, but I'm glad you came to me.
That's how
It means
Anais
he
was.
listened.
Anais, the first 2 weeks of school, every day she had something to tell us about what somebody did.
Uh-huh.
And we actually thought that she was having problems with this one particular little girl, because she would talk about the other kids and they were her friends, and everybody was nice and all that.
Right.
Then she would talk about this one little girl, and it was like the little girl we thought is basically stalking her. It's like, goodness. And so my daughter, was like, okay, I'm going to have a talk with the teacher because this is getting, out of hand, right? And I said, well, let me question my granddaughter a little bit more about, what's actually going on. Come to find out, the little girl sat in the same table and same group as my granddaughter. And then they would have them go to the different areas to play as a group. So when my granddaughter would go to the kitchen area, this little girl went to the kitchen area too, but it was her turn to be there as well. But because my granddaughter wanted to be the one at the stove cooking, she didn't want the other little girl to want to do that. But the way you would hear her tell it, this little girl like isn't supposed to be there and is just coming over there and butting in and making her, uncomfortable or whatever. And I said, look, if she's in your group and she's at your table and that's where the teacher tells her to go, then that's where she's supposed to be. Now, if
Well,
she
and then
was in a
they have buddy systems,
Yeah.
where
But I was
you
like,
know,
if she's in another group and goes to a different area and then sees you in there cooking and comes over there and takes the pan away from you, then you got a problem. But
mhm.
as long as you're both in there together, you got to share. But my daughter was like, see, I was believing what she was saying. And I said, well, in her mind, it was happening how she was telling it.
Right,
But there was more to the story
right.
than just what she was telling us. And sometimes she'll come home and she'll have a little scratch on her
Okay.
or a marker mark. And we'll say, what happened? Oh, well, so and so scratched me. Okay, what was going on? Why did they scratch you? I don't know. We were playing out on the playground and we were kind of wrestling around. And then next thing you know, I got a scratch.
Okay.
It's
That
like, well,
happened.
what did you do to the other person? Did you scratch the other? No, I didn't scratch them. Then it's like, was that an accident that they scratched you, or did they do it on purpose? No, it was an accident. It's like, okay, because you're making it sound like this person just walked up to you and went and clawed your face.
Yeah,
It's like, that's not what really happened.
right.
So now it's a little bit, she'll say something and we're like, okay, let's question her and let's look at the situation and see.
Uh-huh.
are the adults going to allow these things to happen? And at first I was kind of thinking, well, are they not? There's two of them in that classroom. Like, are they not watching these kids at all? Because how is this happening right in front of them?
Okay, we've got a couple new people here. We've got Famous, and we've got Rick in here. Two men's perspective.
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self? And Famous has a son. I don't know if Rick does, but Famous has a son that's at that age. What would you tell your younger self? What would be the advice you tell your younger self? $22 for a
I
job.
know. I'm looking back to see what they're talking about. Rick and BJ are talking about some kind of product for diabetics. See, my daughter found it. I used it to flavor some stuff instead of using vanilla, but I saw some in the bulk barn. Let's see. Let me keep going. Oh, wow. Elisa said, women give a ton of advice at your baby showers, but nobody warns you or advice of when they are grown. Exactly.
Right? Right?
And Olivia said, you have to keep a human alive. Once you have the baby, you got to keep it alive. Exactly. I thought I was going to dress it up and play with it.
Powdered peanut butter.
Oh, is that what he's talking about? Okay, I have powdered peanut butter. You were. Yeah, and I have some. Mine, I think, is called PB Fit or something like that. But yeah, powdered peanut butter powder is good to put in smoothies and things like that, because you get the flavor of the peanut butter, but you don't get the fat and the sugar.
Sugar. Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in peanut butter as well.
Regular peanut butter. Yeah.
What are you doing, honey? What is she doing with these numbers? Do we know? Fill me in. Elisa, fill me in what you're doing with those numbers. I'm curious now.
Now she's got
2 pounds for $22.
Is Rudy asking her to put numbers?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I know she said she was trying to crochet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I like. Smoothies. Yeah, smoothies are fun. Yeah, I do the more fruit.
All right, Elisa, have a great day. Yeah, so Rick and Famous and BJ, give us the men's perspective. Did anybody ever give you advice that you were like, yeah, I got to remember that. That's good advice?
Or you look back on it and know, I should have paid attention when they said that. I do that a lot. I should have paid attention when they told me that. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be in this mess.
I got this huge new big mug.
Nice.
I don't know how many ounces it is, but it is extremely heavy. It's like, I feel like I'm getting an arm workout just picking it up.
I love it.
It's great.
I love these big things.
But
this isn't big enough for me.
It's very heavy. I'm going to try to figure out. Usually they'll say on the bottom how many ounces it holds.
Right.
But this one doesn't. So I'm going to have to like measure it out and see. But I've been putting 3 packets of flavoring instead of 2. I put 2 in my 40-ounce bottle.
Okay.
So I've been putting 3. Which is just 1 to 8 to 10 ounces of water. So actually, I should have been putting more than 2 anyway. But 2 is strong enough for me.
I think Rick's advice was to his younger self, more cars. I think that's what he was trying to say. Because he is a car man. He is a car man. 40 ounces maybe is what.
Regina, my pink one is 40 ounces. I'll grab it and you'll see the difference.
And it also depends on the size of the liner, doesn't it, guys? The size of the insert, because this could be huge, but the insert is where the I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking. We have matching mugs. Look at there.
But look, this one is quite a bit taller, definitely bigger around.
Oh yeah.
And this one feels
See,
like
I'm reading you, Rick.
this one is like, even empty, this one was heavier.
Okay.
So, but this one I got from Temu, and these little handles, the handle is getting loose
Oh.
and there's no way to tighten it.
Okay.
And I said, my luck, it'll be full and I'll go to pick it up and the handle will fall off.
You think it's 62 ounces, BJ? BJ thinks it's 62 ounces.
It might be. I don't know. But so
It's
I saw it.
whatever it is. And then when you put liquid in it, I bet you it weighs a ton.
This is like that too, but it's not on there with like a screw piece or anything. It's like molded to the body. So it is definitely two pieces.
Or tinkle a lot, huh, Rick?
Yeah, I could put this one completely inside of there.
Uh-huh.
But anyhow, I thought it was a great because it still had a handle, because I like a handle.
I like that kind of handle, the half handle where I can slide my hand up in it. I like that.
And I'm like,
Okay, shot, so I like
it's going to give me a workout just picking this cup up, you know. So I got to figure out how many ounces that one is. But you sent me 2 sets of stickers, so I have stickers to put on it. But my daughter said,
they're the dumbest things. I sent her stickers and lights.
she said, how are you going to wash that in the dishwasher? Because it's going to mess up the stickers. It hasn't messed them up, and I do wash it in the dishwasher.
It shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
To
will
be honest with you, they're supposed to go on cars. They're bumper stickers.
Okay.
So they should be pretty tough.
Well, and this one will still be my in the car mug because it fits in my cup holder. This one will not fit because of its height. Because my cup holder is under my console, kind of like.
Okay.
And even this one, the straw sticks out from, like I have to put the lip of it under and then have the straw sticking out.
Uh-huh.
But let me look. This one, I'm pretty sure said, oh gosh, it's all worn off now too, so I can't tell. But this one is, this one was 40 ounces. The other one, I have no idea. Definitely more though. Okay, let's see. Sit too close to a toilet. Let's see.
He says you must have some huge kidneys, or sit close to the toilet because of that big drink. Because of the big drink.
Yeah. Well, and I like the fact that, you know, you put ice in there and then it keeps it cold for a long time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can leave it sitting here, you know, and just have it and keep sipping on it.
Mm-hmm.
I drink a lot of water, though. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But that's confusing for me because some doctors tell me, don't drink so much water. And then some doctors tell me, you need to drink more water. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to do what I want.
It's like you drink water, and most people think, well, if I drink too much water, I'm going to retain the water. But it really and truly, for your body to release the water, you have to have a certain amount of water in your body. So kind of like keeps those balances going, you know, so you can definitely get to where your body's holding on to what fluid you do have, you know.
Yeah. Well, ended up in the hospital. You guys are going to get a kick out of this one. I ended up in the hospital because of low sodium. I was in shock. And it was from drinking too much water. They told me I was drinking too much. I didn't know any person could drink too much water. Yeah, you were drinking too much water and you flushed all the sodium out of your body and your body went into shock. And I went, how does that even happen? But
Well, you
yeah.
must not have been eating things that had sodium in them.
Well, I don't eat salt, but I do
No,
eat
but
processed food.
a
You know,
lot of
processed
things
food.
have salt in them that we don't necessarily realize.
Yeah, I
So,
do
like
eat
when they
processed
say
food
be on a
periodically,
low
so I
salt
wasn't worried
diet,
about all
people are over here like, I don't add salt. Okay, but you're eating things that have salt in it.
that. Uh-huh.
Makes the difference. Um, but yeah, it's not good to be low on anything, any of your electrolytes. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, it was weird. I ended up in the hospital beyond it.
yeah.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't, I didn't know anything was wrong. I just
Well,
finally.
and a lot of people have that with their potassium.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get their potassium out of whack,
Mm-hmm.
and that causes a lot of problems too.
Yeah, I'm not a salt. I'm a pepper person. I like pepper.
Yeah.
I don't salt a lot of things, but like Echo said, I don't need to. There's so much salt in our food on a normal basis. You
Yeah.
should be able to get enough salt in your body just from eating. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
when you start to cut down on added salt, and then you eat like a potato chip or a French fry, it's like, oh my gosh, so
Oh,
so
it's
salty
intense.
because
It almost burns your
tasting,
mouth with the
yeah,
salt. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
your taste buds definitely change. BJ says, I don't cook with salt. She
Yes, it
just
is great. Yes.
dumped it all over her food. That's how some people do with hot sauce, especially down here in the South. They put that hot pepper sauce or like Texas Pete, the red hot sauce. I think all they are tasting is the hot. They're not even able to taste what the food tastes like.
Well, it's just
The
like you were
hot.
saying about the salt. All you taste is the salt if that's all you're used to. But if you're used to eating that stuff, you can taste past that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can taste past that if that's what you do all the time. All the time. Now, I do like chilies. I was in a chili community for a while. I do like chilies, hot chilies, habaneros and stuff like that. But I'm not going to eat them all the time.
I don't want it. I mean, I don't eat much spicy food anyway, but if I do eat something with a little bit of spice, I don't want it to make me crying and nose running and burning to where I feel like I've got to keep drinking. That's not enjoyable to me.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
do
if
you see
it's
him?
just a
There he
little
is.
spice, it's okay. But
There he is.
hey, beans.
He had to get in the limelight for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she put a short out of Bean's footprint in the snow, and I'm immediately like, "You got snow?" I don't believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
there is snow in California.
yeah,
There is snow.
but
I mean, we do have Yosemite. We do have the Sierras. I know if anybody has ever heard of the Donner Party, back in history in it was in the 19th century. They got stuck in the hills of the Sierras. That's in California. So we do have snow. We're not all beaches and sand.
I definitely don't want to see any down here in South Georgia now. In January, I have pictures in my phone from January 22nd of 2025.
Uh-huh.
And there was enough snow. Anna East was out there playing in the snow.
Yeah,
I
usually we
thought it,
just have fog, that tule fog that you just can't see with. I
yeah.
have been on the Donner. Wow. On the Donner? What, Donner Pass? Or is it a ride?
Oh wow, Joan said that she loves hot sauce, but
Yeah.
I love to taste my food still. When I got COVID, that is the only thing I could taste that didn't taste metallic.
Yes, they say that, your taste buds, everything tastes like metal, like you're eating a piece of foil. Yeah,
Yeah.
which doesn't help at all because you're trying to build up, your vitamins and stuff. We're getting 10 inches here today. Shoveled
Oh my,
once already. Oh, really?
oh my
I don't know where
goodness.
you are, honey. Where are you?
Yeah,
Where
where
are you,
is
Rick?
that? Oh
It
my
says
goodness.
pictures of my
Okay,
snow
Regina.
from last night. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know I saw Stephanie, she did a live off her balcony, and I mean it just looks so thick. Oh wow.
Yeah, we got it, honey. We understood. We understand typos. It's not a big deal. I'm so used to reading them, and but I have
And
dyslexia, so I'm going to figure out a word for it anyway.
Regina is in Texas, and she got.
Yeah, Texas is snowing. Texas doesn't usually snow, does it? I
I
mean, we
think
had the
Texas
aurora
is.
borealis coming way down, and now we're having snow in Texas. What is
I,
going
I
on,
think
folks?
Texas is so big that the northern part of Texas is not that far. Um,
Oh, you're by. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. I remember. I told you I was at Niagara by the Lake. I'd been to that city. I'd stayed there for a while. We flew into Buffalo and then went to Niagara by the. Yeah. Okay. I remember that. I'm sorry.
okay, so here's
So
Regina.
yeah, the top part of Texas would be even with Oklahoma. So I get that. If
Yeah,
she's living in the northern, another Canuck. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Look at that patio furniture just disappearing. Ooh, that looks slippery.
yeah.
Snow and ice. Yeah.
I never think of Texas as being a cold state either, but I think she's
I'm
not
not northern, I'm central.
northern. I'm central. Well, see that's how you know
See?
this is a bad storm,
It's
because
coming down
places
that
that
low.
shouldn't be getting it are getting it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Niagara by the Lake was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous area. It was beautiful. I think it was in like April, May. It was gorgeous time of year. Anyway, yeah, it shouldn't be coming down that low. All that stuff is, I don't know. Is anybody in Louisiana? I hear Louisiana's getting hammered by whatever is happening out there. I don't talk to anybody in Louisiana anymore. I had a lot of people in Louisiana, but that was another life ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got three Canucks, honey. You got three of
Yeah. There you go.
them.
Let's see. Is it not in my actual photos? Is it on the in my
What's
Google
wrong?
photos?
Northwest Texas gets it, but not us as much. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that
Oh
because
no.
that would be like Oklahoma and uh, New Mexico. You know.
All right. This
Alabama.
was a year ago, January
Okay.
here. So I mean, the fact that it stayed a day,
Right.
because now we've had where it would be like flurries in the air, and you could look up at the street light and you could see little fuzzy things, floating in the air, but by the time it hit the ground it was melted. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
this time it actually
Stuck.
stayed overnight.
Yeah. But that's still
So,
not like back home, is it, honey?
oh no, in Indiana, let me tell you, you had to dig your car out, wait for the snow plow.
Mhm.
I don't know how many times you couldn't go, because I lived like in a little suburb,
Okay.
The main highways would get plowed, but our roads to get you to the main highway would not get.
Right.
You know, there's Aqua Quilter, Georgia. Just stopping in for a few minutes. Hope everyone is staying safe in the storms. Yes.
They're getting hard
Rick
there.
said
Yeah.
they've got 6 inches so far. Wow.
And I know Tiff is getting hit hard. So it's all the way across like that, from south to north.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable the places that are getting it. And that's why, like, we're not prepared here. That's right. No small snow plows in our small town. We don't have salt to put down. People don't have snow tires or snow chains. People don't even know how to drive in the rain where I live.
We don't have it here either. We don't have it here either.
It rains. They freak out, pull off to the side of the road to wait for the rain to stop.
Now they don't do that here.
So
No,
if there's ice, they don't know what to do.
We make wakes on the freeway with the water, yeah. But yeah, we don't have salt. We don't have snow plows. We don't have any of that. We don't have any of that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
And people don't normally have like boots. And I actually I don't have boots, but I have a jacket with fur inside of it. And I have a hat and a scarf and gloves. But most people down here don't, because we barely get below freezing. I mean, if it freezes here, that's like a major storm through, because it froze,
Right.
So it's just not common down here at all.
Right. And they won't have it. You won't have it. They'll have an extra pair of shorts before they'll have a furry jacket.
Yeah. There's places down in Florida right now that have snow.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of days ago on Facebook again. People are filming their back porches in Florida with snow.
Yes. Aqua Quilter, Georgia says it snowed last week, Sunday, here in my neck of the woods in Georgia, 2 years in a row. What's going on? Exactly. It's like that third week of January. Watch out, because if it's going to snow, that's about when it's going to happen. And I don't understand that. I even said to my daughter the other day, most people get winter November, December. Ours waits until January to get cold and get, if it's going to have the right conditions to snow, it's going to be in January. It's just weird to me.
Now, Quilter, are you more northern Georgia? Is that the reason?
She's more central Georgia, but she's
so
definitely
below Atlanta,
north of me. Yeah, which technically, I'm 30 miles to the Florida state line. So my weather usually is more along Florida weather than Georgia weather.
I think that's the reason you always say I'm Southern Georgia. I'm Southern Georgia. So people understand. Yeah.
Yeah. And when most people hear Georgia, they think Atlanta or the mountains, which are by Tennessee, which is way north, from us.
Right.
And I thought Indiana was a long state. It takes about 6 hours to drive from one end to the other of Indiana. It takes like 8 hours to drive from one end to the other of Georgia. So
have you ever been to California? Right?
Yep. I had snow pants and layers when I was walking last night. A couple of miles. Felt minus 19-ish. Oh my goodness.
God, Rick, what was the point of that, honey? As many cars as you have, what's the point of that?
Okay, she says that she is 1.5 hours from Alabama and 2.5 hours from Florida. So she's going to be like
right in the middle,
finish around Macon and then Alabama's on the, is next to us.
Uh-huh.
So I'm here in the middle of the bottom. She's kind of at an angle going up north from me, and she's closer to the Alabama side than she would be from where
There
I'm
you
at.
are.
She's
You went
closer
to
that
the bar to warm yourself up, honey. So Rick walked to the bar. Yeah, I hope you got a hot toddy.
Hello, Ellen Smiles. Welcome in. She says, I'm watching the live as I'm cooking.
Okay, what are we having tonight,
Right.
honey? We're all invited over? Okay.
Ellen said, I just came
Oh,
out of the
Lois!
snow. We must have over 12 plus inches. Clean car and around the car. Oh my gosh. Hi, Regina. Wow.
Lawless, they're talking weather.
Now she's
We
in
don't
the
understand weather. We don't understand weather. We don't get weather.
Ellen is in like by the Jersey Shore. She's like in New Jersey. So she's
Okay.
where it gets really cold there too. Okay, Alfred Quilter, her name is Lisa, by the way.
Oh,
She said I'm 2 hours from Echo Northwest. So yeah,
okay.
north and to the
That's
west of
that's
me.
kind of what you were thinking.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, kind of
New York State.
unusual though
Yes.
that you would have snow
So
there
you're
and I
upstate?
didn't get it here. Yeah. Oh,
So
she's
Ellen
in
is
New York
upstate.
State. Okay. Border
Yeah,
of
she's
New
not in
Jersey.
Jersey. She's upstate
Okay.
New York.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know I hear
Border.
her talking about going to the shore, so I thought it was New Jersey, but yeah.
There's a lot of water all around there, isn't there, honey?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of water in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to live by the shore. Yeah.
There's
Lawless keeps saying
Wallace.
hi, honey.
Welcome in. And
Yeah,
so good to
Lawless
see
Lawless is in
everybody.
LA. He doesn't have weather either.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure if he's LA or San Diego or he's somewhere, you know, SoCal.
yeah. You're in Northern California.
I'm
He's in
NorCal.
Southern California.
We're better off.
You don't think that
Even though we're the
California,
same state, we just have that little rivalry, that
but
joke
do you
rivalry.
think that California is going to fall off into the ocean?
No,
No.
no, never
Isn't
have
that what a
thought that.
lot of people
I know
think?
people that don't like California wish it would, but I hear people say it and say it with conviction. Oh, you are in LA. Okay. They say it with conviction. California's gonna, and I'm like, that's because you don't like Californians. You just don't like Californians. That's all.
Well, I think because
It's
they
like
talk
New
about
Yorkers. We just have this reputation. We
they
just
talk
do.
about the earthquakes, like it's going to have a big earthquake and it's just going to crack off and be an
Yeah, and we're gonna
island.
end up being another
It'll just
Hawaii
be,
or something, right?
it'll just be floating out there in the ocean.
Yeah, you do. You do, Lawless. You're more than welcome, honey. We would have a good time. Think of all the laughs we could have.
So, those of you coming in, we are talking about the best advice you were ever given or the advice you would give your younger self. Okay, Lisa, have a good night.
No, we're not. We're
Um,
talking weather. Don't let her gauge you.
yeah, we talk about whatever, but anyway,
But that is the subject. That is the
that is
subject.
the
today.
topic. Yes, we always get off the topic and talk about whatever, but that self-care in itself is just hanging out with our friends and chilling out. And y'all can tell by my lights now, I am chilling
Ooh,
out. This
hubba
is
hubba.
so cool and comfortable and just,
So, Lawless, what would you tell your younger self with the knowledge you have now? What would you tell your younger self? What would be the advice you would give him? Do you have any ideas? Have you thought about it? That's a hard question. It really is a hard question.
It is a
Everybody
hard
pop up really
question.
quick, and I'm like, and what's the best advice you ever received? If you took it or not, but what's the best advice you ever received? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Most of my good advice I received, I didn't listen to until after
Okay.
it was all said and done. And they're like,
Ellen says, I would tell my younger self to slow down, be kind to yourself, and live your best life. Oh,
and
that's very good
you
advice.
see Lawless as well.
Not to give up. That's right.
Both of those are really good.
Good. Yes.
Those are really good. Yes. Yes, we could just tell ourselves those. Oh, here we go.
Hello, Miss Myra Elaine from Buying Space. Welcome in. I would
Don't
tell
be
my
mean.
younger self to slow down, lead with kindness, and stop rushing past the moments that matter. Life isn't a race. Live it fully. Yes.
Wow, that's really pretty, honey.
And I would say
You're not from the boroughs, are you?
I would say collect memories, not things.
Yeah.
Uh,
PJ, we love you too.
Christina
honey.
says
I don't know
younger
what's
self
up with him and his wifey, but
needed
someone
to
told
have
me
more
life is not a race.
confidence in
What a
life.
miracle.
Need it more now. Yes, don't we all needed more confidence in ourselves, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Someone told me life is not a race, but a marathon. That's
That's
right.
true.
It's not a sprint. It's a
Just gotta
marathon.
keep going. Yeah.
Got to keep going.
Myra Elaine, not Miss
Elaine.
Myra.
I
Please.
did. I thought I said Myra Elaine from Buying Space.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hmm.
Sorry about that. I'll try to remember. Yeah. I'm really bad with names. Being a waitress, I'm really bad with names. I was never good at them. Yeah, when I was in junior high, when it's let's see, 12. I was 12 in school, and it's the time your body's changing and your insecurities. Excuse me. Is there something going on? Another country heard from. Insecurities are kicking in. I went into my science class because we had different teachers for different schools, and I went into my science class, and me being a redhead, he got up there in front of the class, and I had him the first period, first class. He got up there in front of the class and told everybody there's only white hair and black hair. Red hair is a freak. Now he's going to tell that while I'm sitting there and I'm 12 years old, insecure, and he's going to tell that. And he told that to every single class he had that day, that redheads are freaks. Talk about something to live down. Talk about, and everybody said it. Everybody said, oh, there comes the freak. Here comes the freak. You know how they do. Yeah. To this day, I don't care for that man much.
Yeah, that's and people don't understand when you hear something like that when you're young, it sticks with you. It
Yeah, it does.
When you're older,
I'm under dirt, and it's still, yeah.
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 When you're older and somebody makes a snide remark or something, you whatever.
Right.
But when you're a kid and
Uh-huh.
somebody says something like, did you have any control over having red hair? No.
Yeah. And he didn't tell just my class. He told every single class, all 7 classes he had that day. He told every single one of them that. And I went, you couldn't have told one. You had to tell everybody. Everybody.
See,
I went, oh my goodness.
Ellen works in the school system, and she said he would have been fired today for saying a
Yeah.
comment like
Yeah.
that.
You gotta realize that was 50 years ago.
Hello, Janice. Welcome in.
Hi, sweetie.
Rick
Oh,
Spicer
you
says,
do?
got lots of redheads in my family.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
Hmm.
All my other family members are all towheads. If anybody knows what that means. Yeah. Other has the darkest hair in the family now. Everybody's
Gina
blonde
said
hair and
she
blue
has
eyes.
a lot of redhead family members too, but not
Oh,
her.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should ever criticize someone for their genetics, because guess what? They didn't have anything to do with it, you know?
Well, and tell you don't, even if you believe that, you don't tell the class that. You don't
No.
spew out that kind of, you know, and especially at that age. I mean, if he would have said it now and I'm sitting in a class, I would have looked at him and went, and you jump in the lake or something, I would have told him. But when you're insecure already, that's anyway. Maybe that's
Yeah,
what I would tell my younger self. Don't listen to that man.
that's right. Don't listen to
Don't
anybody's
listen to that
opinion of yourself, you
man.
know. Janice says, I have 3 redhead kids. There
Oh,
you go.
how nice.
There you
Yeah.
go.
My family was really hoping the other would be a redhead, but
Really?
yeah. Yeah.
Car addiction is genetic.
You think so? Was your dad addicted to it too, Greg?
I don't know about that, but
No, I can see the passion being genetic. I can see the passion for certain things, you know. So
yeah.
anyway, yeah, it's amazing. Because when I was younger, redheads was not a thing, and now everybody's dyeing their hair red. Red is the thing. Well, it was like 10 years ago. It's kind of petering off now. Now it's getting more rainbow again. But redhead was a thing. Everybody was dyeing their hair red. So why, Lawless? You like cars too, honey?
I guess he
You
does.
got a family members that like cars? Yeah, I have family members that built cars, rebuilt engines and stuff. I don't want to do it. I know how.
I remember another thing I would have told my teenage self, that no matter if you have curly hair or straight hair, everybody always wants what they don't have.
Oh yeah.
Instead of being thankful for what you do have, it's, but I'm envious. I want what the other person has. And I used to have very thick, wavy hair.
Uh-huh.
And now that I have very little hair, I would love to have that thick, wavy hair again. But I
Uh-huh.
wanted bone straight hair when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And there, I mean, it didn't, of course, that was before the hair straighteners, that they have
Right.
now, where anybody can just about straighten out their hair. I didn't have that. And I always wanted, if I saw somebody with, just no bangs and just like their long straight hair, I would
Uh-huh.
just be like, oh, that's what I want. And it seemed like so many more hairstyles, you need to have straight hair and curl them, as opposed to having curly hair and try to straighten it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. When I was in school, it was parted in the center, all the way down, just barely peeking through, just straight and long. But anyway, it was a
yeah.
duster. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember dusters. Dusters are fun cars. Yeah, they can be little go-getters.
See,
Yeah.
I like older cars too. I
Yeah.
I think I was born in the wrong kind of time frame, because these new cars, I don't like them. I like the boxy big old boat of a car. Bigger the car, the better.
Right. Right.
Ones that are too expensive to drive anymore because how much gas they would use.
Yeah, but you could knock over a fence post and it wouldn't care. It would just keep going.
Yep,
They were tanks. They were tanks.
yep. And
See?
I love the ones that would have like all the like the fins on it, like the metal,
Mhm.
sharp
Mhm.
metal.
All the caddies
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
continentals had the
Yes.
fins on the back.
Yes. I
I've
just
always called them the mean eyebrows.
and I always wanted a convertible, but not
Okay.
these little convertibles they have now, not like a
Uh-huh.
two-seater convertible. I wanted the
Uh-huh.
big with the back seat and and you put the convertible top down in behind the back seat, and I wanted to wear sunglasses and the headscarf like Doris Day
Oh,
or
okay.
somebody, go
Like
driving
the
the
old 40s movies, having it blowing in the breeze.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. That all and I always thought that you could only do stuff like that in California. So
Of
I
course,
always
because
thought
that's where it's always
movies were
filmed, is
made.
on Highway 1,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I was like, yeah, got to go to California. Got to get a convertible. Yeah,
Pacific Coast Highway, that's where they're all filmed. All
yeah,
those are filmed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
77 Camaro. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You're a pup. You're a pup. My first car was a 67 Chevelle. You're a baby. All this. Yeah. Yeah, because that's where they're in the movies. That's where they're all filmed, where they have the cliffs on one side and the ocean on the other.
Yep,
And the this blowing in the breeze. Yeah, that's that. That's that
yep.
same road. It goes from one end to the other, all the way down. That's the road that goes right through. Oh my gosh, I just lost it. What is that town that all the actors and everybody lives at? Malibu. It goes right through Malibu. Yeah, everybody's heard of Malibu, right? No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I liked the Elvis movies, like young Elvis, yeah, like that time frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See, and I'm further back. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm at the black and white things.
Okay,
More of a curve.
Quakertown. Conditions are snow with a temperature of 14 degrees. The wind is blowing from the northeast at 12 miles an hour, and the humidity is 85%. Wow.
Wow. I love the name Quakertown. I like that name.
Is that Pennsylvania, Janice? I'm not sure.
Sounds like it could be. I just like the
Hmm.
name of it.
Hmm.
I mean, most of our cities, and Lawless, you can attest to this. Most of our cities is named after um, Hispanic names. You know, um, San Jose, San Francisco. San Diego, Los Angeles. It's
Hmm.
yeah. What kills me is we have a. Oh, it is okay.
It is.
Good.
Okay,
We have
good.
a town called Mountain View, and right next door to it is called Monte Vista.
Mm.
Well, it's exactly the same name as one is in English and one is in Spanish, and they're right next door to each other.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Amish country. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be.
Hmm.
Sounds like cold too. Sounds cold there as well.
Yeah. Well, 14 degrees and snow. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cold.
And what time is it there for you? I don't know what time it is there for me. Is it what?
Mm.
4 o'clock? So it's the heat of the day.
Yeah.
Al Bundy type. Yeah. Wasn't his as a Dodge? Didn't Al Bundy drive a Dodge? I think Al Bundy drove a Dodge. No, I could be wrong. I
I
could be
have
wrong.
no idea, but
Oh, you didn't watch Married with Children? Oh yeah, I was addicted to that. 42 degrees. The wind blowing southwest 2 miles an hour. Okay, that'll keep the frost off of things a little bit. 58, yeah, and the humidity is not very high. Warming up. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm not plugged in. All of a sudden, my camera went. You got to move, honey. I don't know what happened here. Was it when I
Janet
went
says
to show you?
Lancaster is Amish country, about an hour's drive from me.
Oh, okay. Now, the only reason I know about them is because growing up Amish or whatever that show was, it was on A&E or something. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I got unplugged. You watch Married with Children? Yeah, I like Married with Children. I even dressed up as Peggy Bundy that one year. Got the big wig and the stretch pants and all that stuff. It was fun. It was fun.
That's cute.
Yeah. What are you reading, honey?
Oh, just looking at the chat.
Oh, you're reading the chat?
Rick,
Oh, okay.
Rick and Lawless are having a great conversation about.
Oh, I'm
clothes.
glad. I'm glad.
That's,
You two need to get to know each other.
yeah.
What else up to each other's channel so you can talk more, right, as well, right? 84 degrees in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. I can come visit.
Yeah,
I'll figure out a way to get there.
73 here right now.
It's what?
73 right
At
now.
your house?
Mm-hmm. And I'm like 2 hours west of Jacksonville.
West. Okay.
Yeah, west.
So it's Jacksonville is on the East Coast, so it has the Atlantic. Okay. Because I know Florida has the Atlantic, and then it has
we have the Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of Mexico. That's what it is.
And then it has ocean on both sides.
Yeah. Isn't that where Tallahassee is?
Yeah, Tallahassee is closer to the Gulf side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you look at Florida, you would think their state capital would be in the long part somewhere, not in this little piece that hangs over here on the side, But it is.
Yeah, because I was looking into that the other day, and it looks like a lot of states, they will change their capital to be more central. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, there's Florida.
Well, and whereas Jacksonville is a straight shot, 2 hours straight shot. Tallahassee is like an hour and a half from me, but there's no straight shot. It's like it's back roads and
so as the crow flies, it's not that far, but it'd take you forever to drive it. Oh, okay.
Yes. So if I had a choice of going, like if somebody was flying in, I would be like, go to Jacksonville. It's a much better drive to get you in Jacksonville than it is to get you in Tallahassee, even though it's a half an hour difference in the drive.
So it's an hour and a half to go to the nearest airport?
Well, we have a Valdosta airport, but you would have to change planes somewhere, like it's a Delta airport basically. Okay. So like you could fly into Atlanta, change planes, and then take a little plane from Atlanta to Valdosta.
Okay.
But now if you went to Jacksonville or Tallahassee, I think it depends on where you're coming from, but I don't think they fly from Tallahassee to Valdosta.
Your place. Yeah.
Or Jacksonville to Valdosta. It's like they're more major airports that you would fly into those, and then,
Right. And
And
Atlanta's a huge airport.
yes,
Atlanta's big. I
yeah.
mean, it's not JFK, but it's pretty big.
But when you think about how long it takes to fly from Valdosta to Atlanta, or 3.5 hour driving time, it's kind of like, yeah, I'd rather leave here locally, get on that plane, fly to Atlanta, change planes, go to wherever I'm going, and,
Right.
come back instead of driving 3.5 hours to get to Atlanta to get on the plane and then going wherever.
Right.
Just, I guess it's a preference whether or not, you want to have a drive before you get to wherever it is. Or if
Well,
you,
and it also depends on if you're driving yourself or somebody giving you a ride. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather leave my car closer to home than way out there. But uh, it's a
yeah.
very nice. Jacksonville has a very nice. I don't think I've ever been to Jacksonville
Yeah.
Airport. Yeah,
To
I only went to
me,
Florida once.
Jacksonville,
I wasn't
to me,
impressed.
Jacksonville is one of the nicer beach areas too. Um, I've been to St. Augustine, I've been to Jacksonville, I've been to Daytona Beach. So of those three, I like Jacksonville better.
Okay. Yeah, I went to Miami one time and I wasn't impressed. I went.
I've
I
only
mean, this
been to
isn't
Miami
pretty. This is supposed to be the Golden Girls. This isn't pretty. Are you headed out? Bye, Rick.
once. But yeah, I went to Miami when I was a kid over Christmas holiday,
Okay.
and we lived up in Indiana, and we flew out of O'Hare in Chicago, and
Eh,
O'Hare got snowed in, and we couldn't come home. And of course, as
that's one of
kids
the
thought
worst
that was
airports.
great to have an extra week at the beach. Of course, my
Uh-huh.
parents were like, "No, we need to get home,"
Right.
but they couldn't because the airport was snowed in.
Well, O'Hare always has problems. It always has problems. It's delayed or whether it's shut down. And oh my gosh, every time I went through that place, yeah, you
Yeah.
always expect it to be, you miss your next flight for some reason or another. Hi, Violet.
Yeah, it's that whole Chicago area is got issues, I'll tell you. But
Oh, does it?
it we were about 45 minutes from Chicago, where I
Okay.
lived in Indiana.
Hmm.
So we didn't go. I mean, we went there like for the museums and bigger things, but uh, we didn't go there a lot. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I assume some people go into bigger cities, they live in the suburbs and they go into the bigger city, but that really wasn't too much of a thing for us back then. So,
Doing well. How about you, Violet? How are you
yeah,
doing,
we're
honey?
doing very good. Having a good little conversation about advice and weather and cars and whatever anybody wants to talk about, really.
Yeah, the chat's doing one thing, we're doing another. I think we had 3 different conversations in the chat at one time.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked. And we didn't care. Yeah. And we didn't care. It worked out great.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe Violet, do you have an idea? What would your with the knowledge you have now, what would you say to your younger self? What advice would you give to your younger self? And also, it's a two-parter. What advice did you get when you were younger? What was the best advice you ever get? If you took it or not is another story, but what advice did you get? Yeah, I'm keeping my head above water. There you go. That's really good advice. Actually, keep your head above water. There you go.
There's hanging out with Jen.
Hi,
Hello,
how are you?
hello. Yeah, keeping your head above water. So that's
Yeah,
a plus. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, and take the little wins. It's really what it is. It's really what it is. That's really good.
All
Oh,
right,
you listening
Joan. Have a
also?
great night. Yeah, let me think about it for a minute. That's how everybody's been like, that's not something
Except
that's just
BJ.
right. Yeah, except for BJ, don't get married. He had that one quick.
Right.
So, hanging out with Jen, we're asking the question, what advice would you give your younger self, knowing what you know now? And what is the best advice you've ever been given?
I know. That's a dilly.
It's a
It's a dilly.
dilly of a question, but
Yeah.
it's so, I mean, not that we can go back and change things that, happened in our past, but maybe we can not make the same choices in our future or maybe help somebody else.
Well,
Uh,
there's always other people growing up. As haven't you noticed this, folks? As we get older, a lot of more get younger. So, I mean, we can give the advice to somebody else,
yeah,
pass it on, pay it forward.
I'd say to my younger self would be don't let your fears hold you back. That would have made a huge impact. Oh,
Okay,
yes,
very
definitely.
good. To buy Yahoo. There you go, honey.
That's a good one too.
Google
Yes,
all the way.
yes.
I
And I'm
remember
sure
when they were
there's
selling Yahoo. I remember that.
plenty of people in their 70s and 80s saying computers. I should have, because remember when the computer was as big as a whole room, and the
Uh-huh.
idea of having a computer in your home was like unbelievable.
Oh shoot!
Now
Those people
we're
were
walking
still fighting
around
with
with
the
computers in our hands.
yeah.
It's
We were
like,
still fighting them to use a push button phone. They were still using dial.
yeah,
They weren't going to go to the computers. Remember those dial? Not thought anything about it. Took forever.
that's good though about not letting your fears hold you back. Because
That's
how
true.
many things that you were afraid of weren't, it really wasn't anything once you actually did whatever it was you were afraid of, but you let that hold you back. Yeah.
Right. From
Yeah.
experiencing life. Yeah, I can see that. Didn't me.
Yeah. And I think now I have the attitude, hey, I'll try anything once, you know.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well,
Did everybody hear
before
that? She
before I
just
would have been like, oh no, I definitely won't do this, and now it's kind of like, okay, I hadn't thought about that, but I might try it, just one time
uh-huh.
just to see. And I'm talking about like bungee jumping
Uh-huh.
or, you know, taking risks that I would
Uh-huh.
have always been like, oh no, 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 I'm too afraid of heights. I could never.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Other has done that. He's done hang gliding. He's done all those kind of things. Ooh, I could do it stuff.
Well, I'm having like panic attacks when Anais is at the playground, deciding, hey, I can jump off of here, or she learned how to go down the fireman pole. For the
Okay.
longest time, she would have me stand there and kind of she put her arms out on the pole, but I had to like push her legs over to it, and then
Mm-hmm.
she would slide down. And
Uh-huh.
so the other day, she realized, hey, I can reach my leg out and hook it around the pole, and she could go ahead and slide herself down. So it was like she did it like 50 times
Okay. Did she
in
catch
a row.
herself when she got to the bottom, or did she do a behind smash?
No, no, she slid down and got to the bottom and was standing.
Wow, good for
And
her.
but of course, I'm like, don't. She's swinging out there, swinging out the arms and the leg and getting in and coming down. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna break a leg or break an arm, and I'm gonna be the one responsible, right? So when my daughter finally came and met us at the playground, I was like, wait till you see what your daughter figured out. She's
Uh,
like, what? I'm like, she can go down the fireman pole all by herself. And she's like, I said, oh yes, just watch her. And here
Uh-huh.
she's like a koala bear or something. She just like whoop, zoop. Down she
Good
would go.
for her.
My daughter couldn't believe it. She was like,
Good
and
for
you just
her.
let her do it. And I'm like, no, I've not had a panic attack. But, when I realized she had it and could do
Uh-huh.
it, I calmed down then. But at first, when she's like, no, Granny, you don't have to. I can do it. I'm like, oh, no, you can't. You're going to fall. And like you said, did she hit the ground? Because that's what I expected,
Right.
that she wouldn't stop herself. But no, she did it perfectly. But it's so much fun watching her try these new things. And I'm having to like not freak out because I don't
Right.
want her to be afraid.
Right.
I want her to attempt it and try it and get that courage up to try it. And the whole
Uh-huh.
time I'm over here going, please don't fall, don't fall. It's like I
You're
can't
right.
fall.
Don't bang your head.
But
Don't bang your head. Don't bang your head.
I'm like, oh my goodness. And then
And
there
then
was
she
a little,
touches herself. See,
it was like,
that was always our big thing was once you get a hold of it, boom, you do
yeah.
the booty smack, boom, 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 Good for her, and Granny survived
Yes,
it.
and I survived it. And then there was the next day when we went, there was a little boy that he kept coming up there like behind her, like, okay, I'm going next.
Uh-huh.
And he'd watch exactly what she did. And then when it was his turn to go, he would chicken out.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
she would go around and climb back up there, and he'd still be standing there like trying to decide if he was going to do it or not.
That's
And
okay.
she
That's the
she
first
was
step.
and he was quite a bit older than her and bigger
That's,
than her. And
uh,
she's behind him going, go for it. You can do it. Go for it. I'm like, don't push him. He'll do it if he wants to do it. It's like, just wait your turn, let him try. And he'd finally decide, no, maybe next time. And he'd step
yeah.
out of the way and she would go again. And then he'd be there and he'd put his arms on the pole, but he just couldn't swing that leg out there. Like,
Aw. He'll get there though. He'll get there though.
and he'd watch her, and it's like she had a
I
way
saw.
of just curling that foot around that pole like a
Uh-huh.
little monkey or something. Oh, it was amazing. Hello, Chef Hit Dice. Welcome in. I did a pork chop today in my air fryer and used your spices, so that video will be coming
Yeah.
out. I also did a little beef roast in my crock pot and used some of the spices, but I don't think I mentioned you in that one. But the pork chop one, I definitely did. So that'll be coming
Yay.
out. I'm about to have to go look for some more because I'm almost out of a couple of them because I've been using them so much.
Well, that's good. That means you enjoyed them. That
Yeah,
means you enjoy the choices
yeah,
he made. Yeah.
yeah. I love them. And I used to be like salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic powder, maybe onion powder, and that was it. Now I'm
Mhm.
like, oh no, I got to have this one and this one.
Yeah. Yeah, my spice rack is huge. Just See, he's thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it now. I'm like, oh yeah. And my bone broth, oh, I put all kinds of spices in that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
it's amazing how different you can make the flavor just with a few little tricks of spices, and it's just like it just dials it up. Like
oh,
it's
Violet, it's
really,
because you're over on Body Illusions channel and people are over on my channel as well.
yeah,
So
we're
you can't see
simulcasting.
who's over here
I think
talking.
I think this might be the last time we simulcast. I think we're gonna collaborate from now on, since this is a nice round number.
But I like it when you have it on your channel. But I think if you don't stream it to your channel, but we do the collaborate, it still shows up on your channel.
Yeah, it shows up.
And people can watch it then.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had such a hard time getting that one sent to you. It was like I did it like 3 or 4 times and she kept saying, nope, didn't get it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it
And
again.
it's really
I do
easy.
it. it's still, and then finally that last time, and I was like, I don't know what I did different or what I wasn't hitting, but something it didn't like it. So
Yeah, I
now I
like that
kind of like,
collaboration thing. Then it's
hopefully,
less simulcast and less confusion. You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. Well, and now your people ought to know pretty much you're going to be over here. So
Yeah.
they should,
Yeah.
they should just come on and find you.
There it is. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, and then I
Or
can
we could
share it
even,
in my posts and stuff like that as well.
but we could even do that. We could do it every other time. Do it one time, both of us on yours, and then one time, both of us on mine.
Oh, I,
We
whatever
could
we
even
want
do
to do.
that.
I don't. You can see, folks. I don't fuss. Whatever we want to do, I just flow with it. I just flow with it. I can see. Yeah. You
Yeah.
want me to drop her channel? It should be dropping in the Nightbot should be dropping it. But let me drop it real
Thank
quick.
you. I was thoroughly confused. I thought, is blindness a part of menopause now also? Oh my goodness. That's what our next show ought to be on.
What? Blindness
Menopause.
and menopause?
Just menopause in general.
Oh god. Okay, we can. See, folks? I don't.
Well, and this is the thing. I had a complete hysterectomy at age 40.
Here you go, honey.
And
just
I
dropped
was
it.
told that I was going through menopause. That was menopause.
Uh-huh.
But when I hit my 50s, my body went through menopause. My
Uh-huh.
body said, we're still aging. Your body is still changing. There's more things to happen than just you no longer having those hormones.
Okay. Do we really
And
want to talk about menopause though?
I don't know.
I mean, how many men really want to talk menopause?
Well, the men, but you know what they'd want to
I
talk
mean,
about is why does it make their women bitch when they're going through it?
ooh, she's spelling, folks.
Yeah, yeah. But we could talk about the unrelated, because like most everybody knows the main things that happen during menopause, but there's a lot of unrelated things that happen.
Like a girl beard.
Yeah, like there's emotional things you have to deal with
Oh yeah.
too that are not normal, and that's why a lot of women, like she said, is that another symptom of menopause? Because it's like you go to the doctor because you're having this or that, and they're like, well, it's that
It's
time
just that time in your
you're
life. It's that time of life.
it's that time of life, you are in the menopause window, so
Uh-huh.
yeah.
The pre-menopause, the post-menopause, the
Yeah.
menopause. Yeah.
Yes.
Been on hold. Menopause.
But you got to figure when we go
Men have it
through
too. They just
when we
don't do it like we do.
when we go through puberty, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. The same thing with menopause. But then you also have just general aging in general, things that
Uh-huh.
come up during that
Yeah.
time. So yeah, men on hold is menopause. Yes. See, BJ talked about it. I'm sure his wife has gone through it.
I was happy
I
they
brought
stayed.
it up on my channel and had several men on there. They were intrigued and educated. Exactly. Yeah, because I'm saying you don't think about what they're actually, like how they're going to react to all this stuff that's happening to them. Even just
Well,
the
and I
lack
had
of
somebody the other
attention.
day ask me that. They said, blah, blah, blah is blah, blah, blah. And I went, uh-huh. And they said, is that part of menopause? So the male had no idea. Was this part of menopause? I don't know, So, yeah. Men don't know. Don't know what to look for. Don't know what, Is she just being as you spelled? Or
Yeah.
is this part of going through the change,
Yes. And it's funny because believe it or not, men, they kind of go through some changes too. It's not a name for it like there is menopause for the women, but just the aging process that men go through.
Oh yeah, that's what I
And
was telling BJ. I said men
do
get
a
it too. Men get it too.
big number on their brains.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They learned more about their women and the light bulb went on. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Parapause. Is that what it's called? I know there's a name for it. I
I
know
know
that
there's
you have a label for it.
perimenopause, and then there's menopause, and then there's I think there's a peri and a pre. I think there's premenopause, perimenopause, menopause,
And then post.
and then postmenopause. Yeah.
What's peri then?
Well, I don't know.
Really? I mean,
Let's
I
ask.
thought that was the guy's version. I'm sorry.
We'll ask Dr. Google.
There you go. Okay. Okay. All right. It's pre. Peria is pre. Okay. Okay. That was easy. That was easy to fix. Male version is called periopause. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I thought that was the word you were using. I
Okay,
thought
so
there would be
there's
BJ.
not peri and pre. There's just peri, which is around what's going to happen around those times. Ah, okay.
I'm done reading it. I'm here in the background. Oh, good.
Oh no, this is premenopause versus perimenopause. All right, let's see what it says.
Is that going to be our subject? Let's have a vote here. Is that going to be our subject next time?
Okay, premenopause means before menopause. Perimenopause means around the time of menopause, and then postmenopause is after you're through.
Okay, so they can't just call it menopause. They have to put a peri on the front of it.
Yeah, they got to have, the
Gotta
stages of
have some.
it. Definitely. No, we don't have to talk
Are you
about
in?
that. I'm just saying that's something that a lot of
Are
people
you in?
don't. Um,
Good luck, Violet.
they don't know,
Good luck. Keep a lot of fans by
especially
you.
the men.
Keep a lot of fans by you. That's
All
my
right,
big thing was I was just like I would just I needed fans.
which can last up to 10 years. Oh gosh. Well, I'm through. I am through with everything now, I'm sure.
I don't think
I
mine
think
was that
Rick
long.
and I are the only roosters in this chat. Well, you are right. Well, no, Chef Hit Dice is in here now.
And I
And
think Rick
there was
left.
famous
So I
was
think it's
in
you,
here,
Chef.
and Lawless was in here, and Rick. And there's about 5 of y'all, so maybe not
Bonnie was like,
anymore.
what? What? Yeah. Yeah. Mine was the fans. I could always set my watch to them, but my hot flashes were, I could set my watch to it. I knew exactly what time of day it was by the mine was pretty set in stone. So it wasn't that big a deal. Wasn't that big a deal. None of that stuff was a big deal to me. I ran the man off. Yeah. No, you didn't, honey. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
All right, though
Yeah.
it is 5 o'clock, so we've been rambling on for 2 hours. I'm going to
Good gracious.
go ahead and end this one because I do have another live at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that. I'm sorry, honey.
no, it's fine. But I do need to have a bite to eat and rest my behind before I have to sit back in this chair again.
Now, Thursday, we're going to be together.
Yes,
From what I
Thursday
understand.
we are doing trivia, and I would call it general knowledge trivia, I guess. It is a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be working on that tomorrow. I'm going to um, try to make the slides. I just like having it up there because then it doesn't matter if I don't say it right. They can like
Hmm.
read it.
Well, that's the reason I sent you to you like I did, because I thought, well, you can put them
Yeah.
up there.
Yep.
But if you want me
So
to make slides out of them, mhm,
I
definitely.
will work on getting those
Okay.
together, and we will have that ready. Yeah, we're going to do the trivia with Body Illusion every other Thursday. And on the off Thursdays, it'll be Stephanie from the WSFN channel. It won't be the Bible trivia that we're doing on Sunday nights, it'll be different topics of trivia too. And then Elisa from Stitching It Up will join in on Thursdays whenever she's available. So
Okay.
we'll work that out. But I want to have it scheduled to do it every Thursday, and then whoever wants to participate can be there, and whoever doesn't have to. So
That's the way
it'll be
she
fun.
is. That's the way she is. Yeah. And then Wednesday, after Wellness Wednesday, it looks like BJ is going to have another Carol Burnett. So we can
Yeah.
do a room raid then on Wednesday, if
Yes,
that's what we want to do.
that will be what we will do.
Okay.
And
All right, everybody.
I think that's our schedule. We're getting it, and I really like that we're all kind of working together, getting our schedules going, so that we know what everybody's doing. Um, I hate it when people say, "Well, I don't care who's like." Hey, I want to be there and support my friends when I can, and I'm
Right.
not going to deliberately step on them if I know, you know.
Right.
If I don't know and I happen to do it, that's a different story. But if I know,
Well, well, that's another reason why even this particular show changed its time,
yeah,
because other people in the community were on
yeah,
when we were on. Yeah.
and I want to, I want to be able to try
Support
to be
everyone.
able to support people, if I
Hmm.
can. But I also like to be able to tell people, hey, so and so's going live. Let's go over there. Or let's do this, or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
I like that. I hope that BJ will continue to have something on Wednesdays after the Wellness Wednesday, because I like that laughter, being able to
Right.
get that laughing going. So, and I like
Especially midweek. Everybody needs it midweek. It helps get through the rest of the week. It really does.
I liked when you did the calming, relaxing thing on Friday too. But I know you go Friday night, so that might be too much on you. But think about doing that too, or even on
Okay.
Monday. You know,
Yeah, we can do
if we
something.
if we
I'm in
do.
Arizona, no time change here. What time are the lives?
Okay, um, this Sunday is 3 p.m. Sunday night is 7 p.m. These are Eastern, so it'd
This
be
is
your
Eastern time.
time. Yeah.
So I don't know if Arizona is on Pacific time right now or Mountain time. Because Arizona doesn't change times. So I don't know what
Yeah.
they're on right now.
Well, this is Eastern time, so it's Sundays at 3 or Sundays at 7 for Bible trivia. The Thursday trivia is at 12 noon Eastern time. And then I do my exercise workout and a little chat afterwards, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. And then BJ usually does his after me on Wednesday for some laughter. Yes. Okay, they're on Mountain. So you're a couple hours behind me.
Yeah, only two.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
Um,
it's 3 o'clock, it would be 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Yeah.
So this starts 1 o'clock on Sundays for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 2 hours difference.
Yep.
It's 3:13. Yeah. That would probably
Yeah.
be how it
And
would
it's
work for her.
5:13 here. So
Is it? Okay.
yeah. Well, I had a lot of fun having my lights. I keep thinking like, okay, get out of the way so they can see
Oh,
my
no, you don't have to
lights.
move. You can see them. You can
You can
see them.
see
They're just
it.
sparkling back there.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
did you enjoy them? Did it look funny looking at yourself with the lights behind you?
No, no. Now it did before, when I was like completely in the dark, you know, and
Mhm.
I was like, if I had the light on, I didn't see the lights as good. But I didn't want to be completely in the dark either.
Right.
So that was my dilemma because I was
Uh-huh.
like, no, I want them to see the lights, but I also don't want to be sitting here in the dark. So
Right.
this idea of having this little light over here gives me just enough light that I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I think
So
it'll
that's
work.
what I've got.
Yeah.
Little doodad over here.
Yeah.
I've got
And
the old time makeup mirror. That's my
this,
ring lights.
this light I had in there on the craft table, which I'll just take it back in there if I'm going to do some kind of crafting, you know.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, I
These
like
lights,
that.
now it's double duty. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all in my future.
That's right,
Yes,
BJ.
we
You
are.
can't get away from us.
Well, I'm with you, honey. PJ, I'm with you. I'm with you, honey.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Me and you and Lawless. Anyway, seventh is also my. He's in LA as well.
Okay.
Anyway, everybody, try to make today just a little bit better than yesterday.
All right.